This is a button that every truck has. It's gonna look like a jellyfish launcher. My absolute favorite features. That's a nice feature to be able to have. Did you know that the new GMCs, like this 2024 behind me, has secret tech, storage, and a tailgate trick that Ford and Ram do not have? And I'm gonna show you every single one right now. First things first, before you're even in the truck, there's a setting on the dash that you can adjust, but press the unlock button and then hold it, and it will roll down every single window just like that. It'll also kick on the headlights and running lights and fog lights for just an overall approach, especially at night. You can roll your windows down, let the visibility get started. Then going on to my second favorite one is right in the back seat. Inside of the back seat, you have hidden storage. In here, you can pull this right here. On this side, I like to keep work stuff. On that side, I like to keep some car detailing items, and that way it's tucked away, ready to go. Nothing's rolling around on the floor. If you like the first two items, make sure you hit the like button. Let's dive into the next one. Next one, again, you have 3 different ways to drop your tailgate. You have your key fob. When the truck is locked, these buttons will also work to drop the tailgate like you would normally. And then thirdly, you have the button in here, right there. And down it goes. All different ways, all different scenarios. Coming back into the back seat, there is one more storage piece that people don't even realize that they have. Is this under-seat storage. It's kind of tucked in right here. It's a little small, but it is perfect for the things that you don't typically need. And hopefully you don't need these, but they are ready to go. If you need them, out of the way, tucked away. Now let's hop into the driver's seat here. This is going to be maybe an obvious one, maybe not. Steering wheel controls. A lot of other brands, there's a volume control somewhere on here. Now, if you're new to Chevy GM, you may be wondering where it is, or you're having to do it manually. You're gonna wanna look on the back side. You have audio controls on one side and channel controls on the other. So you can shift through while you're hanging onto the wheel. So while you're going down the road, you can be changing channels. They're right next to the paddle shifters here, but they're out of sight, out of mind, and I'd call it hands-free, I guess, but it's not, but it's hands-on. Now the next one, let's kick the truck on. So for this one, we're in the truck, we're looking at the center console. Now my center console dash cluster might look different than yours, and that's for a reason. So let's go back to the home screen here. So you go to display layout. Now there you have 4 options. Now if you haven't messed with this, it changes everything. So go classic, which is pretty standard, progressive. This is the one that I have. I really like it. I think it's really sharp. It's just kind of different. There's a digital. Which, you know, you decide what goes what on this one, but it's very kind of plain, and your speedometer goes up there at the front or at the top. Or you can do clean, and then you just have the speedometer, and you can alter what goes on what side. It's very customizable, but I think the progressive looks really cool, so that's the one I go with. But I don't see this on anyone else, but maybe it is now. But super cool, unique feature that is just kind of like an added bonus. Definitely not like the selling feature, but I always appreciate it. This next one's also inside. It's a feature in a lot of other vehicles, but I think it's probably worth mentioning because if you're not used to using 4-wheel drive, it's worth just mentioning. So every 4-wheel drive, if you have 4-wheel drive, you have 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive low. Auto is going to automatically put your truck into 4-wheel drive if you need it, or it'll save your gas mileage and just be in 2-wheel drive until your rear starts slipping. Front wheels kick in when you do slip, and that way you're not running around in 4-wheel drive high all the time in the snow. You can still get good gas mileage, but just kind of a hidden feature, kind of not, but kind of worth mentioning. So this next one's going to be outside in the rear of the truck, your rear axle that is putting power to the rear wheels. You actually have an automatic locker in the rear. If you have an off-road package, either the X31 or the AT4 or Denali, anything above just basic, you'll have a rear locker. If one wheel starts slipping, the other one automatically gets the traction. It's traction control, but having an actual locker is pretty neat. It's a step above just being a limited slip, and it's pretty neat to have that just as a part of your vehicle. And that's definitely out of sight, out of mind, because that's not, you don't do anything, it's just there and it works. So let's do the next one. Let's go and turn this off. So when you turn the truck off, one thing that does happen that you may not be aware of is at night, the headlights stay on for about 30 seconds. And they're follow me lights in the front and the rear. Now these can actually be adjusted. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. I feel really bad sometimes when you pull up into a restaurant and you turn off your truck and they're just like blaring into the people's faces that are sitting there at the restaurant. But you can turn those off, or you can make them last for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 120 seconds. So if you live out in the country somewhere and you want some light for a minute when you hop out of the truck and you've got a longer walk to wherever you're going, you can have them stay on longer. It's right in your settings, very easy to get to. It's like settings, vehicle, lighting, and that lighting option is there. Very easy, takes about 30 seconds to adjust, but that projection light can be there longer if you'd like it. Now the next two are actually gonna be back inside the truck, so let's hop in and dive through the next ones. So first, next one is when the truck is under, we get the whole display feature going on. If it's under a certain degree, I think it might be like 60 or 55 degrees, something like that, your seat heater, if you have them, will automatically turn on, as well as your steering wheel warmer. Now the neat thing is, the colder it is, the more intense the seat heater will be. If it's just barely at the threshold, it'll be level 1. If it's colder, level 2, or if it's below freezing, it'll be actually at level 3, which is super cool that it starts warming up. Especially for the diesel. The diesel heat takes forever, like forever to get hot, and it's just the way it is. The 5.3 V8 or the 6.2, your heat kicks on better. The diesel, you gotta go drive it. So pretty neat though, just a comfort feature. That is also something that can be adjusted in the settings. If it's not already kicking on, you can turn it on, or vice versa. If you don't like these things coming on their own, you can turn it off. This is for when you're using a remote start. Now the next one is, did you know you have two glove boxes? If you didn't, you know now. This button, it kind of blends in, but super helpful. I think, typically airbags are sitting right there, but pretty neat spot for the passenger to hide some items like that. Now this one we're also throwing into the mix. So when it's cold outside and you're going to press, it's cold outside, and you're going to press, there we go, your rear defrost button. It doesn't just defrost your back window, as it should. It also defrosts your mirrors. Now there's no button in the whole truck that says mirror defrost. It is that same button. So if your mirrors are icy and you don't know what to do about it because it doesn't look like there's a mirror defrost button, it actually is. It's your rear window defrost button. Does everything at the same time. Not the front window, you have a front window for that, but your rear mirrors and rear window. Now let's go to the next one. So this is a button that every truck for the most part has. It's going to look like a jellyfish launcher. Let's here you go, this one right here. Other trucks and maybe other places, this truck, click that on, little light turns on, and so this truck has LED bed lights down here. Now these will kick on standardly if you have them just at night when you unlock the truck. The same thing as your walk-away lights, just like we just discussed. But what that button also does is turn on the extra LED lights up above the bed of the truck. So these turn on automatically, these do not. These only kick on when you press the button. When you're driving, these will turn off on their own, but it is possible to leave that on for 24 hours. Be mindful of that if you press the button. So you get bed lighting here, but there is an extra way to get more lighting in the bed at night if you need it when you press that button. So something that Ford and Ram doesn't have is going to be this Multipro tailgate. Now standardly, the purpose of it is going to be the step, right? Just to make it easier to get in and out. It's very usable, very user-friendly. But that being said, there are other features of this. So when you close it, let's just open up the top half. Now you've got a work surface. This is perfect for a laptop. I can tell you that I've done it before. It also has the option to be a backstop for plywood or anything else. that may go out a little bit further. Great way to extend it out, or if you need things at an angle, you can do that. This will lock in place because it's supposed to be a step, so it'll lock in place. Or you can have it just like this, and this is just a different way to use the existing bed step. That's kind of something that you may not have thought of until you need it. Now let's go back into the truck, and we're going to show you one of my absolute favorite features that is actually on other vehicles too, but I think it's still super cool. So we're going to turn it back on one more time, and I'm going to show you something really neat. So I'm going to have to mute it because of YouTube and copyright and things like that. But if we just go to the radio here, this GM has the ability, you can pause the radio, which is the same thing as just muting it. It just goes to pause. But what this does, once the truck runs for a minute, it develops a running history of music. So in this case, we're on XM radio. It'll do it for FM radio also. But when it's playing music, you're going to have to take my word for it because I can't actually play the audio. But you can go backwards a song. If you want to hear a song again, you can go back and play a different song. And then if you don't like a song that's on, you can skip a song, as long as it's already happened and the truck was running. Now, once you've been driving for 5 minutes, if you go to another channel, it's already been doing that for all the channels. So you can go to another channel and go backwards 4 songs and hear what else was on if you don't like the song that's currently on. Or if you'd already paused it or gone back on one channel, go to the next channel and you can skip a song. It's like having your own personal library in the truck of music that you don't personally have, which is super cool. And it makes all the sense in the world that you're able to do that, but that's a nice feature to be able to have. Well, which feature surprised you the most? Leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's any features that I missed. Also, definitely let me know, and I might make a part 2 if there's enough other things that I missed out on this truck. But if you want more GMC Sierra mods and upgrades, make sure you subscribe because there are absolutely more coming. I should be receiving the next part order here in the next couple weeks, which is excited. I've been waiting for this one. It's a really simple one, but it's gonna make a huge difference. Really excited to put it on. Gonna be a really easy install too. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.